Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Today was going to be a type of video that we usually make every year, where I give my opinions, strictly opinions, on who I think are good players to have in a team when playing FIFA. So for today's video, we're going to be checking out the best types of players in each position, what you should be looking for, the play style that you're going to be playing, or whatever it is, right? This is my Road to Glory team here, so obviously it's not like a great team, but it's a pretty solid team. It's a very, very fun team. There's going to be some improvements here and there as we progress into the Road to Glory, but if you guys are also doing Road to Glory, you probably have a team very similar to this at this point. We've played around 25-ish games or something. I had a team before. I literally lost like 4 times in a row with it because it was so bad. And then that's when I had to like change my team and then start doing really well with it and whatnot. But let's talk about the actual positions in regards to the teams that we have, right? So Alex Telles is he is one of the most meta fullbacks in the game, right? Reason being is because he's a good all-round player, right? I have a favoritism towards him because he's an FC Porto player, hence why him and other Militão are they just gotta be in there, just for that. But Alex Telles, he's a very, very good card. You could see that with a shadow boost, he gets increased pace, increased defending. For me, I really feel like fullbacks really require the pace. It just doesn't feel like it's that much of pace being upgraded, but I still feel like there's something there that does upgrade the actual card. Um, it's weird because it does and it doesn't, right? For this year, it's a very weird little dilemma there. But yeah, Alex Telles is a fantastic card. What makes these cards good, right? Pace is the biggest thing for fullbacks. Okay, it's you can get a silver card and he will get the job done for you for the beginning because pace is the most relevant thing for these cards. Nowadays, having defending stats, having physical stats, very well. It's always been important, but because of the manual defending, you need these guys to have very good defending stats, right? And I feel like it's more relevant than the physical. Obviously, you try your best to get a card that already has physical stats, so you don't have to worry about it. But with the defending stats and giving them the chemistry styles, it's just absolutely massive. You could see he also has passing, and passing is something that's underlooked from people because passing is what allows you to progress forward. If you're using like a 4-2-3-1, right? You want to make those really good passes in the middle when you're transitioning back or whatever it is, right? So having those specific stats are very good. This card's fantastic. I really suggest you guys getting him. He's really good. Work rates for these guys. Fullbacks in general, for me personally, I think the best work rate you will always have is high work rates, because the reason why high work rates is great is because you can play whatever play style you want with it because the player gives you that option, right? So with Alex Telles, I have two different setups in a 4-2-3-1, right? My 4-2-3-1 defensive is on stay back while attacking, but because he's still got that high attacking work rates, he still pushes up a little bit, which isn't a problem because his push back from the high defensive work rate is also fantastic as well. Because it's high, he aggressively pushes back really quickly, right? But high work rates for me will always be the best ones for work rates as a fullback. But if you get high medium is also very good. I wouldn't suggest anything else. Medium lows, if these even exist. High lows, like these are just very weird work rates to have. The thing about the high low work rate is that if you use high low work rate, it's almost as if you have to strictly use attacking oriented tactics. Like let's just say, for instance, right, you have a high low work rated player as a fullback, but they're a good all round card. I think Marcelo and Dani Alves are like examples, right, if you use them. Because of their high low work rates, you would most likely want to keep your fullbacks on balance in a 4-1-2-2 so that they aggressively push up, right? Because that's the play style that you want. Is it worth necessarily always using that play style? Not really, because I've noticed that most of the goals that I've conceded so far in this FIFA, really bad deflections and stuff, but a lot of them have been through ball passes, right? So trying to figure out like what type of depth and what type of narrow play I want with my team is going to be very important. But with high low work rates, it's just a very weird work rate to have because it doesn't give you more than one option, right? So that's what you want to go for with fullbacks. Obviously, it should be left-footed on the left side, right-footed on the right side. Professional teams in real life are very similar. the best left backs in the world, I don't know any that is right-footed on the left side because it just doesn't make sense. The way you whip in across, the way you transition back into the middle, it's always best to have that foot. Even if someone wants to transition back out wide while they're attacking against you, it's still ideal to have a left-footed player on that side. That's why they have Hakimi's card as a left back for Borussia Dortmund, even though in real life he plays right back. They should have variations of these cards because it's so ridiculous that you can't switch, because that card is sick as a right back and he gets that link with Akanji and Delaney, but unfortunately can't really do it because he's a left back, right? But yeah, those are the ideals that you want for fullbacks, right? Aguilar, he's a very cheap option, but he's got the high work rates. I slap a shadow on him. Doesn't really have physical and stuff, but this is just a cheap option to use just for now. But you'll notice his passing for a cheap option, not bad. Dribbling, so his transitioning left and right, not bad. And then obviously increasing his defensive stats as much as possible is important. But at some point in the future, we obviously want to change that position and get somebody else there. The left side can be completely rotated to a different team, which I'm looking forward to doing. The left side, all I really need to get is Alon in that center mid position where Paulinho is, and I want to see if I can try to fit someone like Delaney or Matuidi in that CDM position, because I need a left-footed player in my left center defensive mid position. Center backs. So center backs is interesting because center backs, the work rates really depends on how you play. I hate this work rate. This work rate in particular, I do not like at all. I don't want him to aggressively push forward when I don't want him to, or whatever it is. Obviously, with the high work rates, you can think where it's like, okay, I can play whatever play style. If I want to be an aggressive defender, I can do that. If I want to be a conservative defender, I can do that. But the conservative defender part, right, is more noticeable for center backs than it is for fullbacks. So his high attacking work rates is going to put him out of position sometimes where you don't want him to be out of position, right? So be very careful when you use these types of guys in general. The thing is, though, is that off the ball movement, I'm not a fan of. But a player quality like Kimpembe, he's been very, very good. It's nice to have left-footed. I might want to switch this in game because I've noticed that people don't necessarily cut in that often. They cut inside. So we're gonna see like which foot I want in which area, because Eder Militão is right-footed and Kimpembe is left. So I'm gonna see how the game kind of plays out for now. I think people mostly want to go for the middle, which is why I have it left-footed on the right side and right-sided on the left side, or right-footed on the left side. But yeah, high work rates I don't suggest, but sometimes with player quality they kind of compensate for it, but it's not ideal to compensate. It's better to just have, right? But he's been very good. Obviously, the important things with these cards is pace, defending, and physical, as well as agility and bounce, because that is what allows you to transition left and right very smoothly, right? So, I think Sergio Ramos might still have good agility and bounce, so that's going to be a really nice card to have in general, right? Eder Militão is on medium-high work rates. Medium-high work rates is my favorite work rate. I just think it works best for me. If it was a medium-high next to a medium or something, I wouldn't necessarily mind that either. But with medium-high work rates, I like him. I think he's fantastic. I think Eder Militão has just been an absolute beast for me, to be honest, which I'm happy with. It makes me happy when I use FIFA cards that I like the teams in real life, right? Like in the future, I could put like Lucas Moura as my striker, and then Roberto Firmino as a striker for the cam position and whatnot, and that makes me happy because I like FC Porto and Liverpool, and I like using cards that are usable, right? Mane's a big one that your boy really wants to get, but we're gonna see how that works out when that happens, because it might be tough to get some chemistry links with him. It depends on how the rest of the team goes. But yeah, so center backs, I would suggest medium work rates, medium-high, high-medium, depending on what your other center back is like. If he's medium with high-medium, that's not bad as well. It's just high I don't like. Is the one I downright don't like, but the quality can still make up for it. But the other work rates, depending on how you're defending, they could balance each other out really well. You can even have low-high, and it could balance out a medium-high or a medium. But it just depends on like how you really play the game, right? Obviously, height is important. So the big things is height, pace, defending, physical. Passing would be an extra plus. Dribbling is an extra plus, obviously, because you still want them to be good at those things. But Sometimes when you look at the pace and the dribbling for agility and balance, you have to see that the dribbling, sometimes the pace overcompensates the lack of dribbling, right? So the dribbling with the agility and balance for you to transition quickly. So that's something that to take into consideration when it comes to the players as well. Midfielders. So midfielders, I personally think you should never use medium-high work-rated players as center mids. This is completely like opinion oriented. Everyone is completely different in this, right? But that's just my opinion. This team starts off in a 4-3-2-1, right? But in game, I use a 4-2-3-1, right? So you can see that in game with the 4-2-3-1, you'll be able to see that I have Idrissa Gana Gueye as a CDM and Paulinho as a CDM, right? Now, this really depends on your playstyle. I will make this example for today for 4-2-3-1, right? For your CDMs, it really is going to depend on your playstyle. I want to have both of them to stay back while attacking. The thing is, though, right, is that there's kind of a balance with the stay back while attacking when you have a high work-rated oriented player in Paulinho. I need to switch him because I want a left-footed player in that position, and I want Idrissa Gana Gueye on the right side, or Alon on the right side and Matuidi on the left side, whichever or, right? But the thing about the high work rates is that he will still play to his high attacking work rates. It's just that when you have that stay back while attacking tactic, they kind of aggressively push back more than they would normally, right? So I personally like that a lot, and it's very beneficial to have. Preferably, I think it's best to have a right-sided player on the right side for CDM, right? And then a left-footed player on the left CDM position for CDM. There's two different ways looking at this where it could be a problem, right? When defending, right, it's better to be aiming towards the middle when defending, like always blocking that middle, than it is to transition out. The problem with this, right, is that I wish I could do this. I wish that on the defense, I can have the right-footed player on the left side and then the left-footed player on the right side, so that on the attack, they just kind of like cross over each other and then progress forward like that. Because, I prefer to always be blocking that middle. And there are situations where they don't really stick out the right foot or whatever it is because their strong foot is not on the right side for me personally. So really depends. But let's just say for the play style that I'm playing right now, 4-2-3-1 with the CDMs, right? Having a high work rated player is not a bad thing if your other CDM is medium. Or medium high. I personally believe that no matter what, if you're playing a 4-2-3-1, one of the cards need to be medium high. Everyone's different. I've seen some people who are beasts at this game use two high work rated players and they do very well. But I truly believe that you need at least one medium high person, because that medium high person, right, is going to make a big difference in regards to having a better defensive structure, right? Can they both be medium high? Would that be ideal? Potentially, right? But sometimes having a person who has high work rates gives you this extra attacking oriented space that you have that you didn't have before, because sometimes attacking with only 4 players is not necessarily ideal. You always got to transition back into your CDMs, and your CDMs, no matter what anyone tells you, need to be capable enough of attacking as well. So that's the one suggestion I would make. Obviously, I think the generic stuff that needs to be good is try to have complete cards, right? Like if you look at Paulinho's card, his card's complete, but as a defensive mid, Idrissa Gana Gueye is a better defensive mid than Paulinho will ever be, probably. Just because of the characteristic of the person, right? You obviously want to have as much as possible the height, the pace, the defending, the physical, but you want everything. You want good dribbling, you want good passing, you want good shooting. These guys in particular, you want to have the best of, right? So that's why I want to try to get Alon and Matuidi, because they're very close to just being good at everything. And I think that they would be a very good balance in the midfield, because no matter what, at some point, your CDM will make a run and your CDM will have to shoot. And if he can't shoot, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage for those really clutch opportunities, right? Center mids, if you play with a 4-1-2-1-2, they've got to be either high work rates, high medium work rates, but the CDM in that position always needs to be medium high, in my opinion. High is beautiful to have, absolutely gorgeous to have high as a center mid. But people like Pogba, who I think is high medium nowadays, which is way better than high low that he used to be back in the day. His high medium work rates are very nice to have as a midfielder. And Pogba, to be honest, next to Conte in the CDM position, is probably one of the more meta ideas to go with in the future. So definitely take into consideration these things because I think they're going to be very important for you in the future. Now, in my opinion, when it comes to teams, you should have four attackers, right? But one of those attackers need to be capable enough of playing in the midfield. Right now, I could use like Felipe Anderson or Keita Balde or Texera or whatever it is. They're not fully capable of playing that midfield role, but they're doable in those midfield roles, right? So because you want a rotational squad, you want to be able to go to a 4-1-2-2 and not have issues, right? Or whatever it is, or have to make subs, or But the attackers, I think it's very generic. The four main stats is the pace, shooting, passing, and dribbling, right? But the physical is still a huge deal, right? So this is where the full meta comes into account, right? This is where it really, really comes in. Full meta is important for every position, and the pay to win concept. The pay to win concept gets more and more every year, right? That's how it happens. The pay to win concept this year is also very, very big, right? But because it's physical and whatever, right? But those four stats, when you're looking at players in general, are the most important, right? I believe, personally, I cannot deal with someone who has a 3-star weak foot. EA has to come out with a promo or something, right, that allows you to increase your player's weak foot to 4. It doesn't have to be 5, but to 4. There's so many people in FIFA, as you can see my attackers right now, none of them is below 4-star for the 4 main attackers, because you're limiting your game style when you don't have 4-star, and it's very, very annoying, right? You could see that with the 4-2-3-1 that I play in this team in particular. Keita Balde is an issue because I don't like the high-low work rates. On a cam, I hate it, right? I would love high work rates there. High work rates or high medium. High medium is not bad because Felipe Anderson's positioning is pretty nice, right? But the high work rates is for the instruction of comeback on defense that you guys recently saw in the other videos. The high work rates is more relevant, right? Because they will aggressively push up and aggressively push back, right? With the right stamina, because if you look at Felipe Anderson's card, he has like 74, not great, right? Keita Balde with 70 stamina, not great, right? They get tired more, right? At the end of the game, they feel a little bit worse, so on and so forth, right? So these types of things you have to take into consideration in regards to game style, right? If you're using a cam, right, you want to have a cam that is, for me, the quickest as possible on the ball, because he's the guy that really needs to open up the space in your team. Everyone needs to be as quick as possible dribbling wise, right? But the cam needs to be able to move quickly to utilize that little small bit of space to make a layoff pass, right? So these types of things you definitely need to be looking at for sure. Lucas Moura in the future is probably going to be my cam, and Alex Texera is going to be replaced by somebody else, another Brazilian, whether I think it's like, or Lucas Moura will be my striker, and then Roberto Firmino or something will be my cam. We'll see how he plays if I ever get him in the future, because I think Roberto Firmino is like 200k right now, which is not that bad actually. So yeah, but for the attackers, you no matter what, guys, all of these positions you want the full meta as much as possible, right? The pay to win concept is definitely still there. But the left cams and right cams, the wing play, high medium, high low, depending if you're an aggressive attacker, could be okay. But I'm not an aggressive attacker, so Keita Balde is not ideal. High medium or high would be more ideal for me. And then the cam position, again, high medium. I was using high low with Talisca. Talisca is fun to use, but his high low put him out of position way too many times, and it really, really bothered me. So that's why I had to replace him in the team, even with Texera, who doesn't have great passing, but we will upgrade that in the near future. But trying to think of some other things here that I don't think there is left. So that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys for the next one. If you guys have any questions you guys would like to ask, be sure to visit the Twitch streams. I don't check the YouTube comment section too much because sometimes it can get, like for me, like one comment can ruin my day. So I like to play FIFA for fun and not focus on negativity. My Twitch chat is usually really, really nice. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.